the 6th annual Armstrong Street Scene Car and Bike Show here at Shepherd's Self Storage in Boardman, Ohio. And with me today I have Krysta Sylvester. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here once again. Not a cloud in the sky, and I think last time you said that there was a big giant black cloud behind him.
Yes.
This time, not a cloud. This is going to be an amazing show.
This is going to be a great show today. Can't wait to get in there and hit all these nice cars and everything, and it's going to be great. So
I think so, and already it's so early right now. We're just about to start the show, and there's been cars here since 8 a.m. lining up. It's going to be good.
That's going to be good. I'm Rick Gurrera along with Krysta Sylvester. Let's go inside and check
it out. This is our feature vehicle for the show. Vic, tell me a little bit about this. What made you want to buy it?
Well, hard head, I guess. I got tired of working on my other cars, and every time I used to come home traveling, I had to work, and I had to work. And I said, that's enough. When this opportunity come up, you know, then I switched cars and got something that was, as far as I'm concerned, dependable. Every day I start it and it goes. But it's a 1951 cab over. The only thing that's original is the cab. They built another, where the car was built, they bought another 51 and turned it around backwards so they could have suicide doors.
Suicide doors, sure.
So, and the bed's all custom. The front end's been shoved out 6 inches. It's got a big block Chevrolet. It's got an Allison automatic with the 9-inch Ford in the back with a 373 gears. It is a dually, and it's set up to tow. I got it set up where I could put a fifth wheel trailer in if I'd like. And it's set up by the license plate to flop the plate up to have a trailer dragger. I could tow both types because it's got the power that I could do what I want to do with it.
I can imagine, and you being a fellow Italian like me, I think you're going to like to have a little bit of fun in this. Now, where did you find it? Was this something that you were really looking for, or did you just see it and say, I got to have it?
Well, 3 years it went through Mecum auction. Actually, the front part of it was some damage on the front. And it went through pretty steep, and I was able to make a deal with the guy that bought it, and I told him there was things that I wanted done before I took possession of it. So basically, what you see is what you get. I did odds and ends mechanically, but every car that's in, I don't care how you are out here, every car got to do something mechanically.
Of course, absolutely, and I also see that you've got a little touch of the Wizard on here as well.
Oh boy, yeah, Wizard was very expensive. Wizard's good people though. Yeah, it's. The front end, I meant to mention it, the front end was shoved out about 6 inches. See, originally the front end was, this is all custom back air. It looks like the original fenders, but they're not.
But they're not.
They're not.
It's absolutely flawless, and of course this color just screams, look at me. Do you get a lot of questions when you drive around? You know, where did you get?
Yeah, there was, went to Greenville, Pennsylvania last Saturday, and they had a car show that's a local show up there, and they basically, I didn't even get parked. I mean, it's a compliment. It really is when people want to look at it. And there was a little girl. I'll never forget this little girl, beautiful little blonde-haired girl, and she was smiling this and that. I said, sweetheart, you want to turn to her father, had a camera. so I put her up in the seat, and she had a smile this big, you know.
Of course.
So she loved it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I've also heard that the interior was created and installed and basically designed by somebody that does aviation.
Yes, it's actually the original upholstery in that, the frames in that were out of a van. They were out of a custom van, and they basically redid all the panels and the headliner, and it's got air conditioning in it. The only thing that I wish it had, and I tried to get it done, was cruise control. So I get out in the because I'll run down the interstate 70 mile an hour. It gets 26 miles to a gallon.
So it hauls.
Oh, it hauls. It'll get out and run.
All right.
It'll get out and run.
So you don't just look good. I mean, you feel good.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
It's ironic when you're running down the interstate. People pull up beside you and give you the high sign, a wave, and this. I mean, it's a compliment. It really is. I got that with the other cars, but it doesn't seem like it did as much as you did this. This is different, really different.
It really is. I mean, it just screams. Like I said, it screams. Look at me. I mean, the color alone is going to catch your attention. But then when you really look at it and you look at all these details, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm so glad that you brought it out today.
Thank you very much. Now the guys, Rick Gurrera asked me, and I told him months ago, yeah, no problem. If I couldn't go, you can come and get it and bring it over. So
if you told him that, could I come and get it? You know, since we're fellow Italians, you know, you trust me, I trust you.
If you break it, you bought it.
With me, I have Bob Darney with his 1949 Cadillac Sedanette. That's what the model is, huh? Bob, this is nice.
Thank you.
This is nice. How long have you had her?
I've had it about 6 years. It took me about 18 months to restore it, rebuild it. I found it all tore apart in a warehouse in Barrow, Pennsylvania. And like I say, it's a hard car to find, so it really wasn't that nice when I got it, but you have to, if you want one, you got to take what you can find.
How about the parts? You have trouble trying to find the parts for this?
The only thing that was missing on the car was in pieces, but what was missing was the interior garnish. So I had to go to Clarion, Pennsylvania to find it, and I had to buy the whole car just to get the garnish.
Oh, jeez.
I wouldn't sell it, by itself.
I love the style on this, that fastback back there. How many years did they make the fastback?
I would say like maybe 4 years. Then they had some wasn't quite as the lines wasn't quite as sharp, but they called them sedanette. But actually Chevy made them, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and Cadillac. They all three made them like 49 to I think like 52 or something.
So we're talking this car, if you look at it, it looks stock. Okay.
Right.
But it's not stock. I think we'll put this in like the retro mod class, right?
Yes. Right off the get-go, anybody that knows any 49 Cadillac or clean up to 52, the headlights are they have an eyebrow on them now. I put them, they're off of a 55 Chevy.
Okay.
And what they looked like was, to me, was an eyeball. Just looked, so I added that to it. And I took the parking lights out of it, and they're right in with the headlights.
Oh, right. What are they? Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. So the turn signals are in there and everything.
Turn signal and headlight. They had a big square parking light.
That's a neat
and
touch.
I cut it off, and
I'm just amazed by all this chrome. I can't imagine how much money you got in that chrome. What do you got into that?
oh, probably around $10,000.
Yeah, just in the chrome.
In the chrome.
Oh my.
It's so big, and
that's it. That's the car, man. If you don't have that chrome right there, that is beautiful.
this car, the 49 Cadillac, was Motor Trend's first car of the year. First car of the year. And it was the first overhead valve motor for 49 for the Cadillac.
The hood ornament, that's stock?
The hood, yeah.
Is there a name for that, like the Packards have?
Flying Lady.
That's Flying Lady.
Flying Lady.
Flying Lady, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Did you have any trouble finding that, or was that?
No, I actually had it. Had to have it re-chromed naturally,
right?
but
That looks beautiful. How about, what are you sporting under the hood here? Let's check that out.
okay, we got one thing about a Cadillac, if you take it to a Cadillac show and don't have a Cadillac motor in it, you're disqualified immediately. They're kind of
But you got a Cadillac motor in it.
So I got a 472 Cadillac in it.
What year?
It's a 76.
76, okay.
And I modified they're not a pretty motor like Chevys and
Right.
Mopars, so I kind of modified the valve covers and made my own air cleaner, covered up all the alternator and water
Okay.
pump.
And you said something about the air ducts here?
They had big black hoses going in for the air intake, so I made my wheel wells, and I kind of made the air intake look like I made them out of steel.
Yeah, this is a beauty. This is a beauty. I love it. What color is this?
The color is called pistachio.
Pistachio.
Everybody painted them either black or forest green or something back.
So what are we talking, pistachio? I see them one color with my sunglasses on. I see like a lot of green in it, and then I
Yeah.
take my sunglasses off, and then I see a lot of silver in it.
Yeah, it's a ton of pearl and metallic in it.
Okay. Well, clear coat? Base
Clear,
coat?
yeah. It's actually PPG color, and I don't use their clear, but I use somebody else's clear.
Good, looks good. Let's go into the interior. What a beautiful interior. Let's get rid of that.
Okay.
So what have you done to the interior, Bob?
The interior is all original and was done in mohair, so I used the same pattern, and I had, can I mention the upholsterer's name? I had T&T in Portland, upholsterer firm. So I said, use the same pattern, but do it in leather.
That's like a couch in your house, huh?
It is big enough for a couch, yes.
And the dashboard, what's
The
different
dash
about
is
the
all
dash?
original. I don't like to have a modern radio in an old car, so I put a radio delete in front of the radio.
Okay, so where's the radio at?
It's actually behind the radio
Oh, so that's like a
delete.
little gate.
Yeah,
Oh, that's neat. And you got what, an I Did It steering column?
I did it, and
Banjo steering wheel?
yeah, banjo steering wheel. Got the original dash in.
That's all original there?
I put, yeah, and the car came with power windows back then, but this car did not, so I put my own in.
Yeah.
They were actually hydraulic back then, so I just put electric ones in.
No air?
No air.
No, you didn't put air in this? Bob, you got this thing laid out. What a beautiful car. Beautiful car. 1949 Cadillac sedanette.
Sedanette.
Bob's from Latonia, Ohio. Bob, thank you for coming to the show, and what a beautiful car.
Hey.
Thank you. With me, I have Mike Clem. Mike's our head judge here
Yes.
today at the 6th annual Armstrong Street Scene Car and Bike Show. How's it going?
Good, good. We have a great day, perfect weather, and we're expecting a lot of cars out here today.
Oh, it's almost
We're gonna be
full
busy
already.
judging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's going
yeah.
to be fun.
It's gonna be
like
great.
last year, we were like, oh my God, we're going to judge the
I could have
10
judged them all by myself, but yeah, no, we have
This
a
year-
great group of volunteers that help judge from the Mahoning Valley Old Car Club and also from Armstrong, and some really good folks help judge. Can't do it without them.
All right, how many guys do you think you need to
Something. Oh gosh, I would love to have probably 15 or so if I could. We usually run maybe 8 to 10 realistically, and what's a little bit more challenging with this show is because they're not parked in classes,
Right.
so we actually walk and have
gotta
to
find
find the cars.
When you judge a car,
Yes.
tell me some of the things you look for.
At a show like this, we typically look for what we call the 3 C's. So we're looking at cleanliness first, then condition, and being consistent as a judge. So I try to teach the judges that in our judges' schools. We're looking at the cleanliness of the car. How clean is the car, first off? Then we look at condition. What's the condition of the car and the panels and the panel fit. And we just look at everything. And then last, being consistent. One of the things I feel very strongly about is having the same judge the same class, all the cars in the class. So we don't just have a judge one row, this judge judges that row. We actually have them, okay, if you're going to judge, let's say Mustangs, and you're going to judge all the Mustangs, so it's all consistent.
Right.
That's pretty much the big three things we look at here.
Good. Also, in your repertoire, you become an appraiser.
Yes, I became a certified classic car appraiser last summer, late last summer, yes.
So what do you do when you appraise a car?
Pretty much we have certain pictures we have to take from certain angles. We do a lot of research. We have a book, my library's getting pretty vast now on this, but we have a lot of books we have to look up. So we look up different information on the VIN numbers, making sure everything's proper and right. We also will look at a lot of the shows and what are the cars going for across the shows.
So you look at like the auctions and all
The
that.
auctions, yes, yep.
Do you use Barrett Jackson?
Yeah, they're a little high. They're a little high.
Very high, yeah.
So sometimes what we've also done on some of the appraisals is we will take a list of what we think the values are from different areas, and then we might take the high and lows off and what's the averages,
Do you add in like the buyer's fee and the seller's fee, which is Jackson's 10 and 10?
We know that mentally, so we'll take them off. Right, that's correct. We will take them off, but a lot of it is just research and making sure that we, the NADA values, the Haggerty values. There's so many things we look at.
Right.
But we try to give people a proper value for their car, whether it's for insurance reasons, estates, sometimes even divorce situations. There's all kinds of ways we get called in.
How often should you get your car appraised?
I would say in a perfect world I'd go with every 3 years, but I would say a minimum of every 5 years.
Do you see the fluctuation?
Yes.
Like sometimes it's up here and sometimes
we were
it's
talking
down
earlier
there?
about Volkswagens, right?
Yeah.
Volkswagens are fluctuating very high right now.
Right.
So, if you have a Volkswagen that hasn't been appraised in a long time, you might want to get it appraised.
How about a Ford Bronco?
A Ford Bronco's another one, exactly.
My
Yeah, they're
God,
hot.
Those things
They're
are
super
going
hot
through
right
the
now.
roof. They're
Yes,
going through
yes,
the roof.
they
I see
are.
them like $70,000-$75,000 right now.
Crazy money,
Yes.
and like Mopars went through the high of 06, 07, and they now they've kind of they're still very valuable, but they kind of flatten out a bit, and you just have to watch all that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm Krysta here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and I'm here with Jeff. And Jeff has this Pro Mod that I'm sitting in. Jeff, tell me about this beast.
It's a 1963 Corvette. It's a Chrome Moly 6.0 certified chassis with a blown injected 526 engine.
Ooh, I hear that I was told that I should maybe wear some Depends when I go to fire this up, because
Well, it
I've been
depends.
lucky enough that I'm going to get to fire this thing up. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now tell me, how long have you had it? I see you bring it around every now and then, but
We built the car in our shop about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So we'll campaign this for another year, and we're building a 56 car to replace this.
Okay.
Which will be out for next year.
Now what made you want to build this?
Just like the body style.
Yeah?
Yeah, the car, the body style.
Very nice. Well, we're happy that you brought it out, and I mean, have you taken home any trophies with this? Have you?
Just a couple.
Just a
we
few.
actually try not to compete with it.
Yeah?
On a trophy level, we just try to have fun with the car.
Sure, absolutely. I can imagine you having a lot of fun with it. Well, if you don't mind,
Fire it up.
I'm going to fire it up. Okay, Jeff, so I want to know some of the specs on this thing. You just said that it's about 2,500 horsepower, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I'm pretty sure you go through how many gallons just from me starting it up? What did we blow through
Probably
on
about
that?
5 gallons on the fire up.
And it's alcohol, which
Correct.
what was really great about this is you actually had me put my hand on it once before, and it was cool.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't know that. Tell me just kind of what you love about driving an alcohol blown vehicle like this.
It's more throttle responsive. We run no fluids in it. There's no liquid, no water. It's just there's a lot more horsepower.
Absolutely. And you've got cameras kind of all over it. We saw that you've got some chrome inside, which we didn't get to see with me sitting in it. But, you know, I just wanted to make sure that people could understand a little bit more about this vehicle in case if they were ever like me and they stumbled into racing like me, that they could, you know, get into a vehicle like this. And just out of curiosity, how long do you think you're going to be doing this for?
Hopefully ever.
Forever.
Forever.
That's right. That's the answer.
Until we have to put a wheelchair ramp.
And that's okay. We'll figure that out for you. My brother's a welder.
Right.
He'll figure it out. He'll work with you and make it happen.
Exactly.
With me, I have Ken Gearing from Canfield, Ohio.
Canfield, Ohio,
How's
yeah.
it going? What are we sporting back
Real
here,
good.
Ken?
We're sporting a 1965 Pontiac Bonneville convertible.
How
This
long-
car is all original. Has about 135,000 actual miles on it. Power windows, power steering, power brakes. That's about it. That's
how
about
long
all a
have you
guy
owned-
needs.
How long have you owned it?
I've had this one about 2.5 years.
What was it like when you got it?
It was pretty clean. It was pretty much, I bought it off a guy who was 85 years old, and he took pretty good care of it. He had redid the car like 30 years ago. And this is kind of the condition that I bought it in.
This is 30-year paint job.
The paint's 30 years old.
Wow, that's really
You'll
nice.
see it's cracking and stuff
Well,
in
that's
different
part of it,
areas.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But it's just beautiful show cars just to go see it the way it is.
Ohio
you know,
car?
Ohio. Well, I bought this in Indiana.
Okay.
Indiana's where
I
I
don't
bought
see any
it.
rust or anything on it, no bubbles or nothing.
No,
It's
no.
clean.
Oh, it's straight as can be. You look at the chrome and look down the sides. I mean, it's absolutely
What
beautiful.
made you go towards a car like this?
I had one of these when I was younger, and I've had like 12 muscle cars over the years, and I kind of wanted to go back and get another Pontiac Bonneville convertible. I was tired of the muscle car era. I just want to get in something turnkey and go.
But these got a lot of kick.
Oh, it does. I mean, it does good.
Let's
It
check
does
out that
good.
engine. Let's show
Okay.
what you got. Yeah, these aren't no slouches either.
Yes, this is 389.
Uh-huh.
And as you can see, it's still factory air conditioned. I had it converted and factory air. And like I say, power steering, power brakes, and
389 4-barrel. So the
three.
4 means the 4
Yes, 389, and that's what it means.
Three-
I think it's like 335 or something. I think it's pretty low. It's not
You need a lot for this big boat, huh?
Oh,
You're probably talking,
but it pulls well. I mean, it goes down the road good. You go like 70 mile an hour, and it's just like riding in Cadillac.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually is nice, really nice.
You're probably talking, what, 300 horsepower?
I think about 335,
335?
somewhere around.
You need it for it is what, 4,500 pounds, 4,800 pounds?
Yeah, it's probably over 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's about 219 inches long. It's just shy of like 20 feet
Oh,
long.
yikes.
you know.
It's a boat.
It takes up a lot of garage space.
But they
and
are beautiful, though. What a design. Do you know who the designer was?
no, I do not.
Okay.
No, I do not.
This
no.
is beautiful. You know what?
Okay.
You know what it really gets? It's red.
Oh yeah.
Red makes it pop. And,
Yeah.
and the convertible, a white convertible.
Right, absolutely. Original leather interior in it.
Wow.
It's got the
I like the wood grain dashboard and everything, all the gauges.
and that's real wood. If you feel that, that's not contact paper. That's actual real wood, which is what they installed back in 1965.
One looks like, one's a radio. Which the other one looks like
Okay.
a radio?
The one on the left is the heater and air conditioning
Okay.
control. The one in the middle is the radio, and it's AM/FM radio. It's not stereo or
Right.
hi-fi. It's just AM/FM.
This thing's laid out. It's got all the gauges in it and
Right.
everything.
Yep. Yep. The gas,
Drum
voltmeter, and a clock on the right.
Drum brakes.
Drum brakes. Yep.
I don't
All the
think
way
they had
around.
disc yet until what, later on.
No.
We're here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show. I'm here with Glenn. Hi, Glenn. How are you today?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Aren't you glad that there's no rain today?
Oh, I can't believe it. It's Ohio. It's not raining.
I know. That's a rare occasion here. But anyway, I noticed this car. I came up to you earlier because just the color alone struck me. And you were just sitting here shining it up, and I just wanted to talk to you about it. This is a beautiful Camaro, and I think you've got a little bit of history in this car, don't you?
Oh, yeah. This car is a Le Mans Blue original car, lacquer. A gentleman by the name of Joe Pangello painted the car. It has a little clearer over it, and it was painted back in 1990. We finished it.
Looks like it was done yesterday, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it looks gorgeous. You've done a great job. You've had it for quite some time now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had it for almost 30 years.
That's amazing. Now, you said that it runs on alcohol or runs on
Racing gas,
fuel.
yes.
Racing fuel, okay.
It is. It needs
And how
lead.
much is it again to fill up that tank?
$64. $8 a gallon.
And what's the MP? I mean, what do you get per gallon on this thing?
Half a mile.
Okay. And how fast have you taken her up to?
Well, I took it up the freeway and buried the speedometer once or twice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
My kind of man. Okay. And I know, earlier you had mentioned to me that you were thinking about detuning it. And of course, then you and I kind of sat there and talked about it a little bit. And I think, we don't want to do that. A lot of power in it. Tell me a little bit about the specs on it. How much horsepower are you putting out? What's the torque? Give me a little bit of that, the hard numbers.
Well, I don't have them. I never dynoed the car.
No?
No, I built the engine the same way I did in high school. It's just a 350, 30 over, with an off-the-road LT1 camshaft, 780 Holley, and 1101 compression. And it's just basically just a little more horsepower than original.
Okay. But I mean, really, it's got to be a joy to drive. And you said that you only drive it, a couple hundred miles a year?
Right. What I did with these cars, you have to match the camshaft to the rear gear ratio, and this car works really good on a freeway.
Okay.
You can actually drive it like a NASCAR car with the throttle. It responds really well on turns and stuff.
Yeah.
It handles really well, considering it has 4-ply tires, which are really dangerous.
They're dangerous, and you said that they won't wear out. You've had them for so long, and they look like they're brand new.
Yeah, they're 30 years old. They won't wear out. They're like stone, like they're petrified. They really, really are dangerous. I should take them.
That's okay. It just comes with the territory, right? It just comes with the territory.
Well, you got to be careful because it gets loose really quick when you're in a turn, and you could end up in a ditch or in a pole. It's not fun.
So you're telling us that you're a good driver?
For an old guy, I can get around.
Well, no, I'm really glad that you brought it out, and I want to make sure that we took a look at the inside as well, because it looks, like I said, it looks brand new. You've done such a great job, keeping up with it, and of course with that lacquer paint, I know you said was a little bit of a pain in the butt. Right?
Oh, it was. Joe was a master at it. He could lay lacquer out to where you just had to do minimum buffing. He put it on really, really wet, and I guess that's why it lasted so well. It lasted. I can't believe it.
You're watching Street Scenes! with me I got Patty Schmidt from Boardman, Ohio, on her 1931 Rat Rod.
How you doing?
Good. I love the paint job on this.
Yeah, you don't have to wax it or anything. It's just great.
And the body works great too.
Oh yeah.
Did you do this yourself?
No, we bought it from Florida, Cocoa Beach, and we had it shipped up here about 8 years ago.
Wow. And you've been having fun with it now?
Oh yeah, we love it. We just love it.
Looks like
It's
a lot of fun. What have you done to it?
Nothing really. Nothing really. We just we put the rats up there. Everybody can't understand what the rats are because they don't understand rat rods.
It's a rat rod.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So it's a 1931 Ford with a
Right.
350 Chevy in it. How's it run for you?
Good.
Good?
Really good.
You get a lot of looks from this, I
Oh
bet
yeah,
you.
a lot. I took it to Ocean City, Maryland a few years
drive
ago.
it, did
Oh
you?
no, definitely
I was
not.
gonna say, that doesn't look too
And
comfortable.
I had more people taking pictures of my car than anything else, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh geez, I didn't want to steal the show.
Right. This is your car, not your husband's
Mine.
car. It's
Mine.
your car. That's unusual too for a
Yes.
woman to have this. Yeah.
Yes.
That's really nice. Looks like a lot of fun.
It is.
How's she run for you? Good? Is it fast?
Yeah.
Is it?
But it gets a little squirrely if you go too fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot.
what have you done to it since you got it? Nothing, or is it just basically
No,
the
nothing
same?
really.
You put Patty's.
I had it lettered. And the friends of mine gave me the
Don't give a rat's ass.
yeah. And the back end, there's a couple stickers, and we've got it lettered again. Malt shaker.
Just having fun with it.
Oh yeah, good time.
My father bought this car brand new in 1965.
No way.
I was 8 years old.
They used to race them out at Canfield Speedway there at the fairgrounds. Sharon and Pittsburgh.
Originally, a guy that worked down at Pogo's Pub down at YSU was the owner. He was a bartender. He had this and a speedboat.
Well, we're with Nate Miller today from Buckeye Classic Car Restoration out of Canfield, Ohio. What we got going on today there?
Well, unfortunately, sometimes we screw up here too at the Buckeye Classic Car Restoration. Every once in a while when you're painting, anything can go wrong, okay, and usually it's an expensive fix too. So you take your time. What we have here is a clear gun drip out of the cap. The needle wasn't properly seated, so clear fell on the paint here. Last coat, so it makes it a little difficult to fix, not as difficult as the first coat or second coat.
But you could fix that
We
without
can fix
repainting
this,
it.
right.
Okay.
I'm going to show you guys how to do that.
Okay.
First of all, it's high, and I know you took a picture here. You can see it's high.
Can you get a picture of that? Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, since this is a couple mils higher than the rest of the finish, I'm going to use the masking tape here. I'm going to tape off the area so I don't disturb the underneath finish, okay? All right, so what I'll do here, just tape right there in yours. Because I don't want to sand through the clear and have a big mess, you know?
So that's on top of the clear?
That's on top of the clear.
Okay.
All right. If you sand through the clear, then you got to respray the whole
So how are you going to know when you're
fender.
through to the clear?
Well, I'm going to sand it level.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 800 grit sandpaper first. Okay. Just to cut it quick, and we'll work our way up to 2,000.
Just regular
And you can
water?
soak your paper too, but for demonstration purposes, we're just going to.
Just regular water, no soap in it or anything?
There's a little mild detergent in here.
Okay.
Now you see, I'm just sanding the sag. It's all about sanding at level too.
Why do you use a soft pad?
Because I don't want to cut no more clear out. I'm just going to scuff the surface.
Okay.
You can get mild pressure on this, but you're not going to cut too much out. You can see basically it's all gone. You can just buff it to a finish and be pretty good.
All right, Nate, what are we going to do next? We wet sanded it with 800?
We wet sanded with 800,000 and then 2,000, okay?
Okay.
Some people like to go with 2,500, 3,000 final, okay?
And that'll take
work.
more of the scratches out, right?
Yeah, correct. Collision shops use a lot of the tri-zac pads. It's quick. Customers aren't too picky about their finish. So we sanded it flat. We're going to use a variable speed buffer, and actually that's not a variable speed, that's an antique, so that's about from the mid-80s. It's got one speed, so I have to control the trigger.
Once you don't burn it.
Some buffing compound there, and we're going to buff this out to a gloss finish and bring the color back. So we get an extension cord. Here it comes. We got some compound here. You want to make sure you keep it wet and a lot of heat and even pressure. You can see I'm not going too fast. You don't want to burn no edges. You can see it's no longer there.
A little bit of time, a little bit of patience, it's gone.
Hi, I'm here with John. Hi, John. How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I'm great, and I'm even better now that I saw you roll in this 1965 Ford Galaxy that looks unlike anything I've ever seen. Tell me, how long have you had it?
Well, actually, my father bought this car brand new in 1965. I was 8 years old, and he gave it to me when I graduated from high school, and I kind of hot rodded up a little bit then, and then it sat in the garage for 20-some years while I got married and had 3 kids. In 1997, I decided to either sell it or turn it into something a little wild. So as you can see, I went for the wild factor, and it's the story of the car.
Now, this paint scheme, I mean, just go the blue fading into the red with that little touches of yellow and the purple that's in there. Did you come up with that scheme? Was that kind of your brainchild?
Yes, it was. I painted the car myself. It's been a 4-year project. Body off the frame, every nut and bolt in it's brand new. And like I said, it took me 4 years to do it, and this is the final product.
You painted this yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. I mean, that's unbelievable. You should. Why do we not know that you? Why did I not know that you exist? I mean, this is just unbelievable. And you have more like this, right?
Yeah, I have 6 of them, and I'm working on one right now. Hopefully, this should be the last one. I'm running out of space now.
And how long are you going to keep it? Do you think you'll ever sell it, or too much attachment to it?
I have a lot of attachment to it, being it was my dad's car. So if the price was right, I probably would sell it. But right now, it's not for sale.
Sure, absolutely. And I mean, I'd like to know, something like this you don't see very often. It's one of those things that when you see it, you remember it. How far have you taken it? Have you gone across country? Has it gone across the country? Where's the furthest from Boardman, Ohio that it's been?
Well, I can't go too far because the gas mileage isn't very good, and I have to run aviation fuel mixed with high-test gasoline to run it. So I've gone to probably some in PA, short distance. I don't go too far because I have to have a gas station right near me.
Of course, and I bet you get a lot of looks, right? A lot of looks.
I do. It's a good feeling, to some people appreciate what you've done.
With me, I have Red Benso from Austintown, Ohio. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great to be out here. The weather's fine, and we're enjoying the weather and the cars, and everything's nice.
Right. This thing is it's a 79 Dodge Little Red Express. I remember when these come out.
Yeah.
And how many years did they make these?
They made them 78 and 79.
How many did they make?
They made around 5,000 of these. In 78, they made 3,000.
Okay. What's so special about these? Are they beefed up at all?
They were the fastest thing through the quarter mile in 78 and 79.
Even in the cars?
Yeah, faster than any car.
Oh.
Yep, they're the fastest they were then, yeah.
And how long have you owned her?
I've owned it 4 years.
It's pretty fast, though?
Huh?
Is it pretty quick?
Oh, it's quick, yeah. It has all the the air conditioning, everything's Yep.
I've seen these around, never really talked to anybody about them, and they're starting to they're starting to look really, really nice, you know?
Well, I was at Nationals, I won the trophy because nobody else had a, you know, you don't look at all these cards, you're not going to find one of
A
these.
lot of people use these every day, too, so they pretty much messed them up.
Yeah. I brought this one back. They were hauling mulch in the back when I got, because there was mulch between the thing. And I did a lot of work on it, but you know, I changed it with valve covers and that, but it's stock. It's 93,000 mile on there.
Wow.
But she still runs beautiful.
So basically, this is all stock, interior, everything.
Yeah.
The pipes coming out of it are stock.
Yeah, that's the way they come from the back. Now the interior, I had to change that because the original interior split on me, so I had to do something. So I changed it. It was all black, same seats.
Right.
But I put red and black.
Your personal touch makes it look good.
Right.
Makes it look good. Yeah.
I didn't have a choice, you know, after all them years as a son.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
It just cracks, that's all.
Yeah, where are you gonna get another one?
Right. You have any trouble finding parts for this if you need them?
Yes, they're very hard because of the specialty. Now you can get some like 79 parts for a regular body parts, but for the parts that go for this.
So what's this called? This is called a Little Red Express, but is it another name for it? I see on the side here.
No, a Little Red Express truck.
Oh, right here. What's that badge?
A police interceptor engine.
Oh, okay.
That's how they did it. And they beefed up the crank and the springs on it. They got heavier springs from the factory. And that's what it was. And like I said, it rides like a truck. Straight line it goes.
Back then.
Yeah, straight line, it's great.
Right. With me, I have Jerry Polak from Canfield Township in her 1930 full midget race car.
Yes.
This is pretty neat.
Thank you very
We
much.
see you coming in, I go, I don't believe this thing. Look at it. They used to race these.
Yes. Yeah, they used to race them out at Canfield Speedway there at the fairgrounds. Sharon and Pittsburgh.
Wow, I can't imagine racing something like that. You know, it looks like it's fun, but I couldn't imagine flipping it. And there's probably at the time no seat belts, no roll bars, or anything like that.
Yeah, they were very daring.
So what do you call this thing?
Just a full midget race car.
That's a full midget race car.
Yes.
That was it. Who made these?
A lot of guys built them themselves. There was companies later on in the 40s that started building them and selling them as kits and also full already done. But in fact, there's a gentleman locally here, one that he built actually won, I think it was the Indianapolis 500.
Oh wow.
He's local here too. Floyd Travis and his son Ronnie still lives out in here.
This is really neat. Well, how about the transmission? What do you got in the tranny there?
It's a 3-speed with reverse, and it's non-synchronized, so you got double clutch every gear.
Alrighty. And you got a Crosley engine in it?
Yes, they used to come with different motors, flathead Ford V8s, the 60, the small one, and Indian 4-cylinder motorcycle motors, Harley 4-cylinder inline motorcycle motors, Offenhausers, and Eltos also.
So what are we talking horsepower in this? 16?
Well, this one's hard to say because it's not original.
Right.
It's kind of built up, bigger carburetor, different things.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the horsepower is on it now.
What do you say? I'm guessing 60, 70?
Probably around there.
Around
Yeah,
there?
around there.
Boy, this looks like so much fun. Aluminum body?
Yes, all aluminum body except for the front hood and nose on the car. The underneath belly pans are aluminum. And a lot of them didn't survive because of the war during World War II. They wanted them for the scrap drive because they figured war, and this was in a luxury item. So they wanted you to give them up. So some of them didn't survive because of that.
Right. This is really neat. So how did you turn this into a street machine then?
Yeah, I just made sure and put the lights in, make sure everything was working. And I got insurance on it, and the guy had titled it. And when it became outdated, you know, the suspension, the motor, drivetrain became outdated, he titled it, and then I'm glad he did because I'm able to drive it now.
All right. How'd you end up with this?
I actually seen it at a swap meet and / car show, and the guy had a car outside the trailer that he was selling, and I seen this. It wasn't running, but I fell in love with it, and he's calling my name, so asked him if it was for sale and how much, and we made a deal on the price. And
doesn't look like there's a lot of room in that, and you're pretty tall.
Yeah, no, I just fit in there because most of my height's in my legs, and so my knees just fit in everything, but it's fun. It's a blast.
It looks like a lot of fun. I bet you get a lot of head turns on this thing. It's like, this is amazing. You drive it a lot?
Oh yeah, as much as I can. As much as I can.
Let me ask you one thing here. On the side here, that little cylinder thing with a pump on it, what is that?
Yeah, that's to pressurize the fuel tank.
Okay.
Because a lot of different motors you had in there, you didn't have maybe room for the fuel pump, you know? And so that would pressurize the fuel tank. So in the straightaways, you give it a couple pumps if you notice your fuel pressure gauge starting to drop.
So you get more power that way then. You're pumping more gas into it.
Yes, yes.
For the people who don't know that, okay.
And then there's the lever to the left of that. That will brake just this wheel so you'd corner around the bends real fast.
Oh, that's neat. Okay. Oh, this is really nice, Jay.
Thank
you very much for showing this to us. This is a treat, I'll tell you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for coming to the Street Scene Car and Bike Show.
I'm Krysta here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and I am here with, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rick Papp.
And Rick is here with this amazing Z28 Camaro. I saw it from all the way across the lot, and I was like, I got to talk to this guy. This thing is a beauty. Tell me a little bit about it. How long have you had it, and why did you buy it?
Well, this was my third 69 Camaro.
Okay.
And I had a black 69, and the body guy says, because it needed quarter panels, he says, I know where there's a 69Z. You don't have to put any work into it, and that was in 1979.
No way.
So I ended up going and seeing this and bought this car and turned around and sold the other one. So I've had it since 79. Originally, the guy that worked down at Pogo's Pub down at YSU was the owner. He was a bartender. He had this and a speedboat, and he needed to sell one of them. Then I ended up buying off a gentleman. We owed some money, so I ended up buying it off of him, and it was a race car at one time. It had a 513 rear end in it. I took that out, put the 410s in it, but it had the 302. So I had 3 little girls at the time. Okay. And the bikes and everything. Well, my father-in-law had a storage building out in Boardman, and my mother-in-law would always say, Peg, you need to tell Rick to sell that car. You need a couch.
No
you
way.
need, yeah. So my father-in-law says, Rick, you got to get it and hide it. If you hide it, she'll forget about it. Well, so did everybody else. Well, my oldest daughter ended up getting married, and my new son-in-law says, hey, Dad, I hear you got a car. I said, yeah, what do you mean? In the storage at, Grandpa's house. I said, yeah, I do. So we went and took it out, and that was 18 years ago. We pulled it out. Matter of fact, we pushed it out and put gas, and the thing started right up.
No, I'll tell you.
So from then, my son-in-law, he owns that 71 Chevelle. That's a body off restoration.
I was looking at that.
So him and I, we did a body off restoration on this one. So he did probably 50% of the work mechanical, and I did all the tinkering stuff. And we pulled the motor, the subframe, did a complete body off, and had Paul Schuster down in Salem paint it.
Very nice,
and it
very
has,
nice.
I think 32,000 miles on it now.
It's a baby.
All numbers matching.
That's,
I mean, the original title, the old pink titles they had. So, yeah, we get it out once in a while.
Are you going to keep it forever?
Well,
I hope so.
I have 3 daughters, and
see, I side with them. You got to pass it down to the girls if they want it.
So whatever. Yeah, definitely. I'll keep it.
Well, this is amazing. I'm really glad that you told me about it. I mean, it's so clean, and the fact that, you know, one thing that you said that jumped out at me is that it sat around for so long. So,
Yes.
you know, and it fired right up, of course, but did you have to do a lot of work to really shine her back up and get it going? Because oftentimes when they sit, you get the dry rot,
yes.
you get a lot of issues.
This had lacquer paint on it.
Okay.
And it had, and back when they painted these cars, because this car was actually a early '69, it had a lot of overspray. It actually had a '68 Camaro rear spoiler, which I changed. I still have it because the '68 was shorter, so it had like a gap on each end. But the rest of it, it's all original. But like I said, we did have it repainted with, you know, new paint.
Well, it's beautiful.
And it's sort of a rare Z because it has a rubber bumper. It's got a vinyl top, and it has the houndstooth interior. A lot of them are real plain Jane. So even Paul Schuster down at Stadium was saying, he said this is a rare Z.
It is. It really is.
To have the
That's why I'm so glad I got to talk to you about it.
With me, I have Bill Reese with his TR6 Triumph on a 1976. How's it going, Bill?
It's going great. Beautiful day.
Yes, it is, and a beautiful car you got.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? I think this is probably the first time I've ever interviewed somebody with a Triumph.
There aren't very many of them around. There's probably only about a half a dozen of them in the whole Youngstown area.
All right, and the ones I have seen are they're drivable, but that's about it. They're, you know, pretty bad, but this one's beautiful. You want to tell me a little bit about it? I see you won some awards with this.
Yeah, I've shown the car 14 times since I redid it 2 years ago, and I won first place all 14 times.
Wow, wow.
So, 2 of them were the nationals, so I'm pretty proud of that. It's a pretty car, and I had it painted locally. I had it restored locally. I did a lot of the work myself, but all the rest of the work was done from the local people that work on cars. As you know, we have a lot of car buffs in this area.
That's what we do on Street Scene. We like to show everybody what we got in this area, because you know, you watch TV and everything, you watch all these national shows and you see all these beautiful cars there, but I'll tell you, we got beautiful cars in this area, in this valley, and that's what we do. We like to showcase them, and that's our job.
Okay, good.
And that's my job, and I try to do it.
There's a lot of cars to pick from. There's a lot of cars here today. There's some nice cars here.
Yes, there is.
So.
How about, what color was this when you got it?
This car originally was white, and I didn't win at shows with a white car because it was showing its age, almost 40 years old. So I decided, when I was a kid, I always wanted a candy apple red car, and I could never afford to buy one then, so I painted this one candy apple red.
With white interior, that's it. That's the perfect combination. That's the color my car is.
It looks good.
I call it resell red.
Okay.
It makes it pop, boy. Those 2 colors just pop, boy. And what was this car like when you got it?
It was in pretty good shape. It was from a couple that got a divorce, and like any divorced women, she got the car, the house, the kids, the money. She got everything. But for me, it was a good break because she couldn't drive a stick shift.
Oh, okay.
So she stored it for 19 years.
Wow.
And then I came along and I found out about the car, and I talked her into selling it to me, and I bought it.
How bad was it?
No rust.
Okay, that's the main thing.
That was the main thing, but the rest of it was pretty rough, so I restored it.
Interior-wise, what was the interior like?
The interior was original. It was black, and it was vinyl, and it was pretty well worn. It was split in a few places, so I had that done professionally locally here.
How about the engine-wise? This is a TR6, which means
it's a 6-cylinder.
Okay, and a TR
versus a TR4 was a 4-cylinder. Then when they came out with the 6, it had a lot more horsepower.
Like what's a lot of horsepower?
The original ones probably ran in the 70 to 80 horsepower. This one came out factory with 105.
Oh, wow.
But I bumped it up to almost 200.
Yeah, in this thing?
In this thing.
This thing screams,
flies.
Huh? Wow,
Yes.
I'll tell you. How much does it weigh? Can't we?
2,400 pounds.
I was going to say about 2,000 pounds. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we take a look at that engine?
You sure can. Came from the factory with twin carburetors.
Okay, what kind of carbs are those?
Strombergs.
Strombergs,
yeah, they're fine. They work fine. Yeah, once you get them tuned up right, they run fine. There's no problem with them.
Because then I always heard horror stories about those things.
There's a lot of people monkey with them and they don't really know what they're doing. They get them out of sync and then they don't work very well. But they're not very difficult to keep tuned. So once you get them tuned, they run well.
And how about the wiring on this, the Lucas wiring?
Let's
I'm
talk
sure you
about
had to
something
do
else.
that. Do they have
Luke-
replacement for that though?
They do. They have complete wiring harness replacements, and I've done that.
Okay.
Because the Lucas wiring is
A nightmare.
it's a challenge.
Oh, it's okay. Because I always heard nothing good about the wiring on these things, or just the
They were
Lucas
bad.
wiring on
They
the
were
English
bad.
cars.
Yeah, the connectors were very bad. They came apart, fell apart. Grounds didn't work. Nothing worked.
Okay, Bill. Here's my favorite question I ask everybody: how fast have you had her?
Officially or unofficially? Officially, 139.4.
Unofficially.
I think it's more than that.
139.
I didn't know that I was going that fast when I was radared at the racetrack.
Oh, okay.
And they gave me a certificate with that number on it.
Wow.
But I don't think I was all out when they.
You still had more.
I still had some more, yeah. And it's got a 5-speed plus overdrive, so I was running 6 gear.
You're watching Armstrong Street Scene, right here.
We're here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and I'm here with none other than my brother, from the same mother, Joe Sylvester, and he actually is here with High Octane Coffee, and also here with this ridiculous machine here, which if you don't know what this is a sprint car. Joe, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, sprint cars are definitely one of the most, probably the most popular style of dirt track racing. Definitely most exciting in my opinion. These things are the most high horsepower, the highest power to weight ratio car that turns. They're about 900 horsepower and they only weigh 1,300 pounds. So they're very light, very fast, and they're made to do one thing, and that's go fast. They're direct drive. There's no transmission. There's no clutch. It's direct drive right off the motor. No starter. You got to bump start them. So they're crazy. They run on alcohol, and we get 24 of these things out on the track at a time. It's absolutely nuts. And what better way to advertise high octane coffee than with a high octane sprint car?
This is true. So if you're an adrenaline junkie, you may want to drink some of that coffee and check one of these out, of course. But, I know that there's a couple things that are really unique about this, aside from some of the things that you just mentioned, but it's also very dangerous. And I know that you're an advocate for, racing safely and doing things the right way. So how do you get in this thing and feel safe and the safety precautions that you have to take? Tell me about it. The equipment that you wear, your Hans, all that.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a more dangerous form of auto racing than sprint cars. I mean, Top Fuel funny cars, that's definitely up there. But sprint cars, these things catch a rut or you hit another car. There's no bumping and banging like in a full-bodied car, like a stock car. You hit another car with one of these, somebody's going for a ride. And when they flip, they don't stop flipping until they hit something hard. So they're very dangerous. But that's what's so exciting about them, and that's what makes for really clean racing for the most part too. You have some of the most talented drivers in the world behind the wheel of sprint cars, and people ask how safe they are. Say they're about as safe as they can be.
That's a good response. That is a good response, and really, you came from monster trucks. You've done short course off-road racing. You've done anything from quads to dirt bikes, and now this. Would you say that this is one of your favorites?
It really is. Monster trucks I love from a standpoint of putting on a show, the big stadiums, the crazy crowds, but this is putting on a show in itself too. These people come, they spend their hard-earned dollar to come out to the dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night and see us get down in these bad little machines. You may get 30, 40, 50 cars that show up to try and qualify for a 24-car feature, so you have the creme de la creme of dirt track racers when you go to run one of these cars. From a racing standpoint, absolutely. There's nothing like driving a sprint car. There's nothing like hitting the cushion, grabbing the traction, and laying into the throttle and standing these things up on the back tires, and just you're controlling the uncontrollable when you drive one of these cars.
Absolutely. Now, for those of us auto enthusiasts that are new to sprint cars, I understand that there are some tracks that are nearby that they can go to see you and other racers like you put these bad boys on the track. So tell us where they can find you.
Well, that is definitely one of the nice things about dirt track racing and sprint car racing is we live in a really great area for dirt track racing. There's a ton of dirt tracks. You got Sharon Speedway, Mercer. The Mercer is where we normally run just about every Saturday night. It's 45 minutes away from town. You've got Wayne County, which is only 45 minutes to an hour away. You got Lernerville, which is one of the top dirt tracks in the country, just past Butler, PA, a little over an hour away. So there's a ton of really nice dirt tracks in the area. You could go watch a race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night if you want to, every single weekend.
All right, so I am here with CJ. CJ, you just rolled this thing around. Everybody stopped in their tracks, wondering what the heck this thing is, how much horsepower it has, and why the hell it is so loud. I think it sounds beautiful, but let's talk about it.
This is a ACS 360 National Tour car. There's 750 horsepower and a 1,350 pound car. So they are in the class of the highest the power to weight ratio of any race vehicle other than like a drag car, but as a normal like flat track, circle car, etc., etc. So
absolutely. Now, what made you want to get into it?
I've done boats, I've done asphalt, done all that stuff, and when this machine is right, there is nothing like them. Yeah. They're just intense, on edge, they're just mean all the time.
I'm so excited!
Hi everybody, we are back at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and I'm here with Dawn. Dawn, first and foremost, thank you for bringing this beautiful Chevelle out. We were talking behind the scenes a little bit about it, but tell everybody when you got it, why you got it, and where, because I heard it was local.
Well, I bought it in 2000, so 17 years. It was more of a present to myself, is why I bought it. I bought it local, actually here in Struthers, and then I had a friend of mine, Frank Hassey, at Quality Auto Body. Him and we went through the whole car, and I mean, we had put new fenders on it because I was able to find original fenders. Quarters were done, outer wheel housings, the door panels. So basically, all the sheet metal was all old stock, and did the whole thing. And Frank Hassey did a fantastic paint job and that on the car. Well, again, I had it instead of putting the original stripe on it, I had the actual stripe painted on.
Right.
Because, you know, back then in the day or whatever, they all had the sticker tape.
The decal, yeah.
And they all peeled off, and then when you wax it, it got really crappy and everything else. So, and this is all base coat, clear coat too. It's not the original lacquer. The engine, Terry Yoder for performance, went through the whole engine. Everything's all been redone. It's got the original block in it, and I have the Protecto plate for the car. It's an original. Was built in actual Canada, delivered in Michigan.
Okay.
And that's.
And now it's here.
Right, and I have all the production documentation on it too. So.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. All that stuff is amazing to have, and I think it was a great present to yourself, I might add. And you said
Expensive
that.
one.
Well, you know, hey, sometimes they are.
It just keeps growing.
You know, sometimes they are. That's right. And you know, this paint color it's a really unique red. I think. You know, you're sitting here next to a red Corvette, and it just really jumps out at you. Did you pick the paint scheme yourself?
That's the actual paint for the car. It's Garmin red. And by the paint coat, that's what the paint was coming out. Now, when I originally bought it, somebody had painted it that sort of crappy maroon.
Oh.
That had to go.
That had to go.
So it went back to the original paint color.
That's beautiful. And I mean, the inside is clean. Do you drive it often, or is it kind of, you know?
No, just on. Number one, it doesn't go out right. It doesn't go out if it's rainy or bad. I mean, it's an absolute fair weather baby, and you know, go to shows, things like that. But that's about it, because it's got 411 gears in it, so it doesn't travel well.
Doesn't travel too well, right? Exactly. Now, being that it was a gift for yourself, do you plan on holding on to it for a while?
It stays as long as I do. So.
So someone like me, there's no chance that I could ever.
No, it's gonna be wrapped. You know, my wife said he'll probably be buried with you, and I said, yeah, probably.
That's okay.
I have John Haas with me with his 1997 Jeep Wrangler JL? TJ.
Yes.
What's TJ stand for?
They got different classes of when they built the Jeeps through the years. You know, CJs, YJs, TJs, LJs, JKs.
I'm not used to the Jeeps. This is all, like I was saying, this is all French to me. So
Right.
What we're talking about today, I'm learning. So.
Well, I'm still learning. And I've had it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years I've had it.
What have you done to her?
The gentleman I got it from builds Jeeps for rock crawl competitions and sand drags. He started the undercarriage with the different axles, the transfer case, the motor. Got into a money situation. I was looking for a toy, and
It's a heck of a toy.
Yeah.
Can you climb rocks with this and everything?
Oh yeah, he had it all set up for rock crawling and
Have you
whatnot.
done
No, just little stuff. I've changed a lot of stuff on it: the fenders, the bumpers, the wheels, the tires. I did the interior, the roll cage. He already had the stroker 4.0 in it, and then I just fluffed it and dressed the motor up.
What's that, straight 6?
Yes.
Straight 6. Got any horsepower?
Yeah, a lot of torque because it's geared very low, naturally for crawling over rocks and stuff.
I see those guys doing those rock climbs, and I go, that's not for me. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Some of those rocks they climb are huge.
Oh yeah.
I said, how the heck are they doing that?
I'm too old for it now.
Yeah. I just said, they're going to flip this thing over. What do you do then? You know?
My younger days, I would have done it in a heartbeat, but
You
now
don't
I'm
think
like,
about it now,
yeah.
One good shake and you're like, oh, there goes my back.
Right, exactly.
Oh, there goes my arm.
Exactly.
Wow, this is really nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What would something like this go for?
Oh Lord, I couldn't even give you a price. There's a lot of money in
Just
it.
all the little things you got in it. I got a list here, and you got a list of what, 50 different options on this thing you put in here.
Yeah.
What,
the
52?
different
55 different things. My gosh, some of the simplest things are a couple $100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like every time you go, it's not like a nickel dime thing. It's like, $500 here or 5,000.
Yeah, this thing's decked out to the T's, boy.
But like I said, it's set up for competition, and both my kids are musicians, so that's how we come up with the rock and roll, the skull theme.
Oh, that's neat. That's a good idea.
And once we start changing things and whatnot, and then hanging out at car shows, we thought, well, let's just keep it, a show Jeep and not tear it up.
Right. This is probably not very fast. Is it fast?
No. I mean, I'm 65. I can go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But, not too much more.
You're basically good in the mud and in the rocks and stuff like that. That's what it's built for.
Yeah,
Very nice.
It's not a race car. It's climb a wall or a tree, but
yeah.
I'm here with Sherry, and Sherry has a very, very special Ford Roadster here. I understand that it was passed down to you from your father, and you've got some great history in it, from the lucky penny to the paint job that he did. Tell us about it.
I was inherited to this car about 4 years ago. My mom bought it for my dad. She told him to pick out whatever car he wanted because he was sick, and he picked out this Roadster. He put all the flames on it. Put his lucky penny in it to always bring his daughter good luck. So this is a very special car to me, and I'd like to take it to the car shows to show everybody.
Absolutely.
So keep his name alive because everybody still remembers him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And see, what I like about it is, some people understand the specs, the mechanics, the mathematical things, everything, the horsepower and all that, and some people love it for the story.
Yes.
And you've got the story, which I think is so special.
Yes, and I was given this gift, I have a ton of brothers and sisters, and I was the lucky one to be picked. Me and my dad became very close, and, before he got sick the last 10 years, and I'm glad he chose me. He chose the right kid to drive it. And actually, I'm probably like the smallest one to fit in it. It's very hard to even get in it. I can't bring in a lot of big guys or anything, but yeah, I love it. I would never trade it. Actually, when he thought about giving it to me, I've always wanted a 65 convertible Mustang. He was going to trade it to get me my Mustang. When I caught wind of that, I stopped it. I wanted this.
Right, absolutely.
So down the road, I'll get me my dream car. That was his.
That's wonderful. Yeah. We're so glad that you brought it out. It's such a standout car, and the story that's behind it is what makes it so special. I'm here with Joe Rossi, and he's got this amazing Stingray. And not only is the car amazing, but there's actually a message that we want to bring at the end of this interview. But first, let's talk about this car. How long have you had it?
My dad bought me this car in 1977 from State Chevrolet from a salesman named Rudy Bertolini. My freshman year at YSU, we sold the car. He bought me a 77 Cutlass in exchange for the car. So a friend of mine found it down south. After we sold it, we had the original VIN number, and my wife bought it back for me 6 years ago. So it's back home, and God forbid something happened to me, I hope my wife would keep it.
That's really special. So she really wanted you to have that car.
Yes, we looked at it, we went to see it, and when we went to see it, they the guy says they sold it on the website, and then it was in front of my house in the trailer that it delivered back. So so it's back where I think it belongs.
Now, is it basically original how it was when you first had it?
Yeah, it's original. The only thing is I put some striping on it, but the interior is the same. The motor and tranny are the original, and everything is just how it came.
Wow.
So.
Now, do you drive it daily, or is this kind of just something that you take out when you got great weather like this?
Just when we get away a little bit, me and my wife Marcy, just to get away and to get out maybe a couple times a month. That's all. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, well, actually, a couple times a month is a little bit more than a lot of the other people that I've spoken with. So, you know, you got to run them. You got to enjoy it, and being that it's back and it's yours, you know, you got to enjoy it.
That's nice to have something you remember from that era.
Absolutely.
You know.
And I know that you brought it out here today, and then of course there's some special story here, and I think some awareness that needs to be made as well. Why don't we talk about that?
Okay, we have my niece Olivia Ann Watson passed away March 26th. She died in a car accident in Charleston, South Carolina. A drunk driver hit her from behind. Her, my sister, flipped the car over, and my niece was ejected and died at the scene. So we have Living for Livia Foundation, and she has cards made up. And it's just that people be aware about the drunk driving, but be aware of how she was. She was a 9-year-old little girl, but you think she was like 30 the way she was. She always thought about others. Let's buy this for them, Mommy. Let's buy that. So my theory is just treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Never forget where you come from. And remember that to love people. Don't cost nothing to love people or have some acts of kindness.
Absolutely. So Living for Livy. I think that that's so special.
Keith Sturgeon, where are you from, Keith?
Austintown, Ohio.
Austintown, Ohio, and his 2004 V-Star 1100 Classic Yamaha.
Yes, sir.
This is pretty sharp.
Thank you.
How long have you owned her?
I've had it about 6 years now.
What have you done to it?
We did a custom paint on it. It used to be silver and gray, so we changed up the colors. Got House of Color, Solar Gold, Metal Flake, and Tangerine Candy. And we got custom graphics put on by Krysta. Friend of mine, he did the airbrush work and some of the pinstriping. I pinstriped the dash, and we have 59 Cadillac taillights.
Those are really neat. Tell me how you did that.
Well, it was I just purchased them offline and messed around until I got them to fit. It was
They just fit right. Those are your stock bezels in there, right?
Well, the bezels aren't stock. But the actual housing is.
Housing stock.
Right, and I had to form up a bracket to put the taillights in.
That's a nice touch. I can't believe that's good. That's creative. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, it was different. I liked it.
I can't do stuff like that. I'm not that creative, so I love it when I see people.
Well, I don't ride it in the winter time, so that's when I mess with it in the winter during the winter months.
That's neat.
And then we got the fiberglass extended bags.
Okay, these bags. I see a lot of guys extend the bags and they do stuff with the bags. What do you do with that? How do you do it?
Well, I took a cast off another motorcycle fender to get the swoop action, and I just fiberglassed it right to the actual fiberglass bag, and did a 4-inch extension, built that up out of fiberglass also, and a lot of sanding.
Yeah.
A lot of sanding.
That's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it was. It took months to build them, but it's been worth it.
How'd you learn how to do fiberglass?
Mixing it up and slapping it on.
That's
See
all,
what?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. It was.
So this is a real bagger then, huh?
It is today. Yeah.
A bagger. That's what they call them. Baggers like that. Yeah.
Yep. It doesn't have any air ride or anything like that, but I want to go with a dual exhaust next. I want to make my own exhaust and see how that works.
So this is 1100. How many horse you pushing in this?
Probably only about 50, 60. I mean, it's not a high-end engine. There hasn't been any engine work done on it. I do want to make a dual exhaust, like I was saying, and that's probably going to be the next upgrade that I do. It's got kind of a custom headlight on it too. There's a lot of people asking about that. I've never seen another one like that, and I'm not going to say where I got it from because I want to keep it that way.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. That's pretty cool.
But
I'm gonna put dual exhaust on here. That just caught me. But you got 4 exhausts on here now, don't you?
Well, no, I do have dual exhaust, but I want it to come out the other side also.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I misquoted myself, but I want to have it come out the other side too. So that'll be a true dual exhaust.
Okay.
Because right now the mufflers connect to each other, but it'll be true dual exhaust by flipping it on the other side.
Oh, okay. This is pretty nice, pretty nice.
My name's Ken Robbins. I'm from Austintown, Ohio.
Okay.
And I built this thing here about 10 years ago. It was 11 and a half year build process.
Wow.
Well, I built stuff for other people, and this was one of those in-between things.
Absolutely.
Then you gotta have time and money at the same time. Without that,
It all comes together.
yeah.
So you obviously take this on the track. This is not a street car or a street truck. How fast do you drive? Street? Do you really?
Oh, yes.
So it's street legal.
It has been on Sharon Speedway.
And how fast have you gotten it?
Well, I've had it over 100, and there's a lot of gas pedal left.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it.
On the dash, there's autographs, or NASCAR autographs. There's Casey Kane, Kenny Schrader, Kevin Harvick, Dave Blaney, and Ryan Blaney. And this was my dirt track hero from when I was growing up, Bill Forney from Kansville Speedway.
Absolutely.
I got to take him for a ride in it. He loved it.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah.
Now, so I know that you've spent a lot of time on this, and it took quite some time to build. Are you going to hold on to it for a while?
If I get rid of it, my son would have a real problem with me.
Uh-oh. So you're going to keep him in check then, huh? He nods his head yes. So, is this the only one that you have, or do you have a couple more?
I've got a couple other in the works.
Absolutely.
I'm building another old Chevy truck. He's building his first car. And I've got another race car project in the works.
We're here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and I'm here with Dave. And Dave's got this ridiculously cool Triumph. So why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
It's a 2007 Triumph Rocket 3 Classic Tour. It's got 2,300 cc's, largest production engine motorcycle produced. Got a performance tune and exhaust, some Kuryakyn and some Rivco products. And I've had it for 10 years next month.
10 years.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're not going to be getting rid of it anytime soon. I think you like it too much.
Yeah, it's got special meaning to it.
Now, when you got it, I mean, is it fairly original as far as the look goes? I mean, have you done any modifications like the paint and everything, or?
Paint is original. Like I said, just some chrome accessories is basically it, and the exhaust.
Now, you did say that it's one of the most powerful engines.
Yeah.
So, do you have a little bit of fun, kind of cutting loose on it ever at all?
I can get groceries pretty quick with it.
Well, I guess you'll put them in there, but you probably can't get too many, right?
No,
Just the
what I
essentials
need.
is what you need, right? Absolutely. Now, is this is this something that you take around and you take to shows? Is it a daily driver type thing, or is this just kind of a show vehicle?
It's a pleasure vehicle, no doubt. My buddy Keith over here, when we got together, this is my
Hi,
first
Keith.
show. This is my first show. I said, let's go. So
So you're having a good time? Are you happy to be here?
yes, I am.
All right, so you probably had no idea that when you called me out that I was going to now call you out and put you on camera. So now you're like, are you rethinking that, or are you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm Krysta, Sylvester here at the 6th Annual Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show. With your 2004.
2004 Yamaha 1100 Custom, right?
Very nice.
Very nice bike. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Oh, it's right here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
The next one is going to be Class 22 for the Grand Champion car. The winner is Nate Miller with his Mustang Fastback.
Nate's still here? You check this car out here. It's titled as a 19...
Class 22.
2017. And it's all fabricated. It's just beautiful. Okay, with me I have Nate Miller. You probably know this mug. He's always on our tech tips, and we've had him on for other things also. How's it
good
going?
seeing you.
Yeah, how's everything?
Keeping busy. You know, we just got this beautiful Mustang down here, and actually it's a 2017. We titled it on Friday, all built from scratch. And this looks like a 65 Mustang, but it's all new. All modern, and has SN95 Mustang suspension, SN95 motor, dual carbs. We didn't go with the fuel injection route because we wanted the old school sound. Got the serpentine system from Billet Specialties, Edelbrock carbs, CR Racing radiator, Willwood brakes. It's got all the cool features you want in a modern conveniences of an old classic car.
It is, it's nice. Yeah. Tell me, I was looking at this before. What are these things right here?
These here are from Billet Specialties.
Okay.
And what they are is, they're for the overflow for radiator and power steering reservoir. And if you notice, the engine compartment, we hid all the wires. So you don't see any wires going to the motor. So
when you hide those, how do you do that?
Run them through the frame rails.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all the headlights are hidden wires.
It's real neat.
Yeah, it looks nice and clean. Brake lines are hidden, so you see absolutely nothing. This is a little clutch reservoir here. These are from the Ring Brothers out of Wisconsin, and the sort of hood hinges too.
Wow, those are nice.
Oh, yeah. And on the inside, we have Hertz Audio. We have a
What's
Moto
a Hertz Audio? Is it a German?
It's a German audio system.
I'm not familiar with that one.
And
Pretty
it's
good,
the speakers, subwoofers, amps. We got like 10 speakers in this
Can't
Mustang.
put little kids in this, huh?
No,
Not in the back, anyway.
It's a little torquey car too. First drive was actually over here to the show. It's got the Moto Lido steering wheel, custom made in England. It just actually came out really beautiful car. We eliminated drip rails on it. Bose alloy custom made wheels.
Made the mirrors?
Oh yeah, yep. I might have put mirrors on it though. It's pretty tough driving over here today.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back to the ballpark there and see what kind of mirrors we can find for it. Other than that, full custom candy paint. We mixed it, did a bunch of spray outs, and how we came up with it. You know when you got to paint for the car, and it just looks like what we used. So the amps are in the trunk here. We got custom billet made taillights we did for this.
Did you make those yourself?
We had them custom cut, yes. Yeah, and then we blacked out the lenses ourselves. Hertz Audio, amps.
That thing's probably kicks, huh? How about this paint job underneath here? I noticed that underneath the hood.
Old school 1970 style stuff that we just marbleized. That's actually lacquer marbleizer stuff.
Nice little touch.
Jeff that worked for me had some old marbleizing from House of Color from 30 years ago, and that's what we use. So it's pretty cool. What else? Got a fuel cell in there. So it's underneath the mat here. We hid everything.
Usually they're big or something, you know?
Yeah, but it's all hidden underneath, so you don't see it's there.
Oh, that's nice. This is clean.
Yeah, we got about 2,300 hours in this total build.
Wow. Wow.
At $65 an hour, you know what that comes up to. That don't include the parts, which all the sponsors helped us with. So you know, it came out really good.
What kind of shoes you got on this thing?
They're Willwood 13-inch rotors on that. So it's all pretty cool. Custom fiberglass bumpers for the front, so you have a smooth finish.
Yeah.
What else we got on this?
On the tires?
Oh, they're Nitto tires and Bose alloy rims.
Nitto tires. What size?
I can't remember off the car. I think they're 245 45s.
Okay.
But
yeah, this looks good. How about the frame here? You say this is all custom built.
All custom
so what
built.
kind of frame are you sporting on this?
It's the original factory type unibody, but it's all tied. Okay, and we're running the SN95
It's all tied?
together, so it's not going to move on you.
Oh, okay.
And the SN95 suspension right out of a 95 Mustang.
Wow.
So it's all modern stuff. And the neat thing about the SN95 stuff on these cars, you can go right to O'Reilly's and get the parts for it. So that's what it all from. All the parts came from O'Reilly's for the suspension. You know, it's just a really, really clean car.
Yeah, it is very clean. We seen you coming in. I didn't recognize you when you come in.
And it sounds good too.
Yeah, it looks darn good. I'll tell you that. It looks darn good. You got the Eleanor front end on it?
All LED lights too. Yeah, and the Eleanor front end, we custom did that with a little fiberglass too. We got rid of the fog lights in the center, got rid of the little air scoops for the brakes, and modified where the turn signals go. What else did we do to this front end? Vintage air AC.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, you got to keep yourself cool while you're driving.
Okay, well, one of my favorite questions. You probably haven't added up to speed yet. How fast do you think she'll go?
I've had it in third gear, about 70 coming here.
So that's nothing.
Yeah, at
That's
4,000
idling.
RPM, so it was going pretty good.
What do you think you can get her up to?
Over 100 quick.
Easy,
Yeah, it's 400 plus horsepower in the motor.
What's it weigh?
I haven't had it weighed yet. We have to go get it weighed. That's a good point. But it's probably lighter than stock because all the interior is out of it. And no, it runs. This little custom shock tower brace we did to keep the front end from shaking. Oh yeah, we had to do that because at speed you don't want it to shake on you.
Right. Looks good, Nate. Looks darn good.
Appreciate it there. Yeah, you guys go for a ride.
Oh yeah, give me the keys. Give me the keys. I'll kill myself.
You're gonna go for a ride and bring it back.
No,
what the heck?
no, I don't trust myself in this. You know that. The 6th annual Armstrong Street Scene Car and Bike Show today. What a wonderful day.
Oh my gosh, it was the perfect day. I said there wasn't a cloud in the sky earlier. There's a few, but guess what? No rain. Everybody loved it. We had what? Almost 300 cars come out.
Yes,
I mean, this is unbelievable. We saw some amazing one-of-a-kind vehicles. We saw, you know, some top-of-the-line hot rods. We saw sprint cars. There was a little bit of everything here. It was
I fell in love
wonderful.
with a couple classics too. Boy.
Oh,
They were just
yeah.
absolutely beautiful. And I'll tell you, we had the cars here today and the people and just the fun. And everybody's happy and the sun's out. No
Absolutely.
rain.
There's so much energy here, and of course, it all goes to such a great cause. And you know, this is amazing. So if somebody missed out on this show, they missed out.
You got it. And once again this year, we were so lucky to have Krysta Sylvester with us, and you're just a delight to have her on here, Krysta. Thank you very much again.
I'm always happy to be here. I'm glad that you asked me to come back every year, and I hope that we continue to do this.
And
This is so wonderful.
And thank your dad for letting us use the
Shepherd Self-Storage.
Even though he's a coward, he wouldn't let us get him on camera.
No, he's behind the camera. He's always behind the camera, never in front.
We tried to get him in front. He's, no, I'm an electrician. I don't do that stuff.
That's wonderful. No, thank you so much. It's I'm so glad to be a part of this, and you make the show, man.
No, thanks.
Everybody
Thank
waits for you, so
No,
this is great.
no, the people make the show.
Yes,
I
they
just
do.
have fun. You know, we got so many nice cars around here, and
Yes.
it's just nice bringing them out, showing everybody, you know.
Right, absolutely.
That's what's nice about it.
Absolutely.
I'm lucky enough that Armstrong has kept it. This is our 8th season, you know that. This
Yes.
is our 8th season, episode number 3, believe
Wow.
it or not. You believe that?
Wonderful.
They've been
Glad
letting
to
me do
be a
this
part
for
of it.
8 years.
That's awesome. And let's hope we keep doing it.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Krysta.
All right, thanks. And we'll see you down the road.